Assalamu alaikum and welcome back to the channel. This is Red Dissection and we are deconstructing Manchester United victory against Newport County in the FA Cup fourth round. United went against the League 2 side, a 14th place League 2 side at their own stadium, Rodney Parade. United took the lead early on. They started off well. They started off bright, fast, got the two early goals, good strikes from Bruno and Minnows' first goal, so that was good. But it went completely downhill from there. The whole system of play descended into some sort of selfish anarchy. Everybody was taking shots from all sorts of angles. Nobody wanted to pass to the other person in the final third. The likes of Garnacho, Anthony, Hoyland, Bruno were all wasteful with their chances and their opportunities to make chances for their fellow United players. And it wasn't a surprise that Newport County, who play in League Two, who have part-time footballers playing for them, they scored their first goal with a spectacular volley. Even though United did aid in that, obviously Luke Shaw went to sleep. Bruno lost his challenge, and the striker got a good strike, but it took a deflection of Martinez, and Bayende didn't have any chance to save that one. Obviously, United didn't improve. They went in the half really uninspired, really insipid, without any more clear-cut chances. They had opportunities, but they didn't result in clear-cut chances, or the goalie didn't have to make outstanding save just to keep them in the match. In the second half, as usual, United started indolently. They were slothful. They were lazy, especially the fullbacks. And Newport County got their equalizer well deserved. There on in, they were the better side in terms of aggression, in terms of wanting to win. United didn't show any kind of quality in midfield or in the forward areas. In defense, they were struggling with the high balls and the route one football that Newport was trying to play. Even they were getting behind the likes of Casemiro and Meno, and between the space between the defensive line and the midfield, and it was really embarrassing. United were Eric Ten Hag was clearly showed up in that match. Eric Ten Hag was clearly exposed for his inaptitude in terms of tactics. They could have taken the lead, but for a couple of smart saves by Ndir, who was all right. He didn't make any kind of gross errors, and he did all right. Coming to statistics, obviously the possession is scored in favor of Manchester United, but Newport County weren't really worried by Manchester United because apart from the two goals to begin with in the first 15 to 20 minutes, they weren't really threatened that much. And United were lethargic with possession, especially around the back four. They were playing, side to side. They won many position, incisive passes in the final third. And eventually, Newport County got more confidence, and they had almost they had like 17 shots against Premier League side like Manchester United, which is embarrassing for Manchester United. United had 22, so it was almost equal. On target, they had 7, we had 9. Indictment of the way United approached, the mentality, the kind of complacency the players had. They were playing for themselves, just trying to get the goal from any sorts of weird angles. In terms of possession, obviously they were playing with route one football, and they weren't expected to have too much of the ball, but they did create some dangerous circumstances and chances, and had the shots on goal. Especially the long distance shooting was all right, better than ours, to be honest, apart from Bruno's first goal. The statistics, even though they are slightly in favor of Manchester United, they actually show that United had a horrible performance and showing at Newport County. Bayern there was debuting. I think he was decent, especially on the ball. At his feet, he was good. He was, judicious. His long range passing wasn't extremely precise, but he was on way off. His handling of the ball was good. I thought in the box he was commanding. He caught a few high balls, and they were playing route one football, so that was nice to see. His average position was also slightly up than Onana, but maybe that was down to the opposition. Uh, Overall, he was all right. He wasn't to blame on any of the goal. He couldn't do anything. One was deflection, one was in the 6-yard box. But unfortunately, I don't see him keeping his position. I think Onana will be back for the Wolves game. So as the Cameroon are out of the AFCON, so but I thought mine they did show promise and a good debut from him. Diego Dalot was probably our brightest player, especially on the ball, attacking wise. Anthony did get an assist and a goal, but it was down to the marauding runs by Dalo, and also he was playing well as an inverted fullback. He was switching between both roles, and he did well. I think it was one of his better performances, maybe because he is comfortable at this position. I always see him as a championship player. I don't think he has the physicality and the top-notch quality, but in this match, he was one of the better players. Rafael Varane wasn't threatened too much. I don't think he was too good. I don't think he was that great on the ball. He had loads of possession, but that was, I think, when he plays with Martinez, his job is to get the ball to Martinez, who is, probably the best passer in the team. In terms of physical battle, he was decent. Nothing spectacular. I think they were targeting Martinez, and he was losing quite of his battles in terms of the air because of his height disadvantage. But I think Varane did well. Lisandro, I thought on the ball he was good. He was bright. It was his first match in terms of full 90 minutes after his injury, so he looked decent. In the air, he was targeted. I thought that he was dominated to a degree with that League Two striker. I think Avis was his name, and he got the second goal as well. So that's a problem with him. I don't think he can do anything about that. Also, his lack of pace. I don't think it was exposed as much as it could be against the likes of Wolves and Aston Villa and West Ham coming up. I hope that he is back to his best in terms of his physical fitness as well as his psychological makeup because he has suffered the same injury twice in a year. Overall, he was all right. Luke Shaw was lethargic. He seems to have put on a lot of weight while being injured. He was, partying in Dubai in the winter break, and you could see it on him. I think he was slow and ponderous. I think he was losing a lot of his battles. Even on the first goal, I thought he wasn't sharp in terms of pressing the man who took the shot or the volley from the edge of the box. Also, Bruno could have done better on that as well. Overall, I think it was a typical Luke Shaw performance, underwhelming. In midfield, Casemiro was back after his 2-3 months injury layoff. I think he was sadly not up to it physically. I thought he was back with his rash tackles. He goes to the ground so easily, and so many players can skip past him. That happened with the League Two side as well. I think in the year he was dominated. On the ball, he was all right, nothing spectacular. I think he shouldn't be played in the number 6 role. I think that should be Minnows, and he should be given a bit more license to get in the box and get the goals that he has been getting since his arrival at Manchester United. So overall, I won't judge him too much because he hasn't been playing for quite a lot. I just hope that he can back to his levels of last season and can steady the ship till the summer at least. Kobe Mano was also disappointing. I know he's young and he is promising and he shows glimpses of that promise, but I don't think overall he's brave enough on the ball, especially with his passing. But he got a good goal. It was a good strike from the edge of the box, and I think you should give him more confidence. I just don't see him playing in that number 8 role. I like to see him play in that number 6 role, and Casemiro given more of that license to go and get in the box. He was better than Casemiro, but there's still question mark for me on his overall product, overall output over the 90 minutes. Anthony was the second best player on the pitch, even though he wasn't exceptional. I thought he was timid and meek, especially in the first half. He got his goal in the second half, got an assist early on, but he just not. I mean, he knows his limitation. I think his severe lack of pace is appallingly clear now. He just can't beat any man. He just doesn't have pace, acceleration to go past anybody, and that's why he cuts back on his left foot. He continues his sloppy pot shots at goal from strange angles and strange distances. But he was sharp enough to get the rebound for the third goal. That was the goal that made the difference because United weren't having a good second half. But against a League Two side, a struggling League Two side, it just doesn't fill you with any kind of promises for the future. Bruno Fernandes was captain calamitous again. He was probably the worst player on the pitch. He lost almost all of his battles. He was physically dominated. He's technically inept. He was playing his usual hand grenade football, playing with the hot potatoes or something, which is his first instinct is just get rid of the ball because he's not technically sound and assured on the ball to keep it and move it along. So he's usually the one who gives it away, even against the League Two side. He got a good goal, but overall, I think his game is embarrassing and he's an embarrassment to the club. Alejandro Garnacho was excruciating to look at. He was so selfish. He was so self-interested and conceited. He had a couple of opportunities early on in in the first half to get Hoyland his goal, and just slip in a simple ball behind the back line, just a simple square ball. But he opted for near post shots and missed all of them. He didn't have a good shot all game, and it was embarrassing and mortifying to see him. He got scolded off by the likes of Bruno Fernandes and Rasmus Højlund for his selfishness. But I don't think he understands it. I think in his head he feels like Cristiano Ronaldo, but he doesn't have ounce of the talent that Ronaldo did. Not that I'm a big fan of Cristiano Ronaldo, but he is an embarrassment, and I think he should stick to what he knows. Just run fast and just try to square the ball for the striker, because technically he's not that great. Rasmus Højlund was a struggling wrestler in the match. I thought he was overwhelmed by the sheer strength of this back line. He was not on the ball. He didn't have, a short touch on the ball. He lacked pace. He seems to lack strength. He was embarrassing. And even after this winter break, he doesn't seem to inspire any kind of promise, any kind of confidence in me for his, for his performances. Obviously, you can give him 1 point for his relentlessness and perseverance just to keep going at it. He doesn't get too many chances, clear-cut chances. So I'm not as much bothered about that. But his overall game has certainly declined, and he needs to show a lot more. Since Marshall is out injured for indefinitely, maybe for 3-4 months, maybe for the entirety of the season and his career at United, and we don't have any direct replacement. Obviously, with the whole Rashford saga, he's the only he's the only experienced striker. He's the only senior striker we have. Maybe he thinks that he needs to conserve something and play within his absolute limits so that he can go on further till the end of the season without getting injured. But it certainly wasn't a good performance. Substitutions, obviously the first one was Scott McTominay. He was involved in the third goal, and that's the only positive I can give you for that. I didn't see too much of him, to be honest, and we don't expect too much from McTominay anyway. And the fact that he's still playing at the club is down to the manager and the club, because we already know what he can and cannot do. So it wasn't a good performance. It wasn't a really bad performance. It was all right. Willie Campbell came on at the right back position because Luke Shaw had to go off. Wan Bissaka wasn't there. Maybe he's not fit or ill. We really don't know with Eric Ten Hag. He's hardly ever truthful. So I thought he was embarrassing, to be honest. He just kept lumping the ball forward. He didn't show any kind of composure on the ball. And it was stark difference from Diogo Dalot. So in his defense, I think centre back is his favorite position. I don't know how much he's played at right back. It wasn't a good appearance from Kambala. Omari Forson came on, and the substitution was embarrassing, to be honest. Let me be honest. Nothing against Forson. He didn't do anything. He didn't do anything bad. But the fact that Ahmad was warming up and he didn't get any opportunity, not even a single minute, it was embarrassing. I could sense it, to be honest. And it's not down to him. Just for that substitution mistake, I think Eric Ten Hag should be sacked. It was a sackable offense. And I think we need to free Ahmad, like so many others whose careers have been destroyed by Manchester United. I'd like to see Ahmad just move on and get to another club. Nothing against Forson, but the substitution was shambolic. I think Maguire came on in late just to give more assurance in the back line because they were playing with high balls. He came on the left centre back position for Martinez because Martinez was targeted. He didn't have too much because there wasn't any quality left. I think there wasn't any belief also in what they were doing at the very end. He was doing well before he got injured, so probably he'll be back for the Wolves game. I won't push him straight into the starting line, especially against a pacey Wolves side, but I won't be surprised if he stayed back into the team over Varane against Wolves. Johnny Evans came in very late, I think around 90th minute, 89th or 90th minute for Rafael Varane. I didn't understand the point of the substitution. They want that dangerous at the moment, and we already had like a goal lead, probably a couple of goal lead at that point. A redundant substitution, maybe a power play by Ten Hag, but like most of his moves and maneuvers, it lacked any kind of logical sense for me, and there's no more comment that I can add to that. I'm just tired talking about Eric Ten Hag, giving him the same score. He just doesn't inspire anything in me. I'm not even disgusted by his lack of courage in terms of giving youth the chance, giving players who deserve a chance, and just sticking with his favorites who keep disappointing us. He just needs to go. That's all I can say. It was another humiliating performance by him against a League Two side who could have knocked us out in the fourth round, and would probably deserve to knock us out because, of course, we got the early two goals and we got a couple of more goals, more of rebounds, not due to great football, but maybe due to the naivety and their lack of fitness at this level. So Villa victory and the Liverpool draw saved him, and this victory also keeps us in the FA Cup. I don't think Ineos and Jim Glazer make any kind of decision before the summer. Probably, if we are mathematically out of the top four. Until then, we just have to bite the bullet and just survive Ten Hag. Just wait to see his back. Probably in the summer, inshallah. Man United made a big mess of this easy trip to Rodney Park, to Wales. I think United deserve to just be knocked out of the cup because the kind of commitment and effort that Newport put, if they had even 10% more quality, they should have won and they could have won. They still had like shots at goal, but no clear-cut chances. We didn't have too many clear-cut chances as well. Physically, they were a match for us, but overall, we can't take too much out of this. It was, a victory in the end, and we are in the fourth round against Nottingham Forest. I think that'll be interesting. They've just beaten us, so that might be a tough match as well. Obviously, I think in the Premier League, any team can beat us quite convincingly, like they have over the last 10 months. But the games will be coming thick and fast now, especially the Wolves game. I think it's on Thursday, and they've got pacey wingers, pacey forwards, physically dominant midfielders in the back line with the likes of Kilman. Are very physical and they're very good with the five at the back. And the likes of Samedo, they keep on bombing forward. I think it'll be a dangerous match. And if Wolves can get an early goal, it could be curtains for Eric Ten Hag and Manchester United. So we'll wait and see. Please join us for the Red Prep show for the Wolves game. It'll drop in the next couple of days. Please join us for that. So until we meet again, take care. Do good. Pray for Palestinians, all the oppressed people all across the globe. Assalamu alaikum.